As India gets the G20 presidency, it's become a big political face-off between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress. The Congress is mocking the Prime Minister over the G20 presidency and the celebrations that have followed. Jairam Ramesh has thrown a jibe of an event manager at the Prime Minister. Jairam Ramesh has taken to social media site Twitter. That's his statement on your screens. He says the presidency of G20 is rotational. India's presidency was inevitable. There have been other countries that have got the G20. None of these nations staged a high-voltage drama as is being done around India becoming the president of G20 for 1 year. I'm reminded of what L.K. Advani said in 2014 in Gandhinagar. He called Mr. Modi a brilliant event manager. That's all there is to all the spin around G20. Remember, G20 is this prestigious group in which India is a part. And after Indonesia, it has now taken the presidency for 1 year. And many are, in fact, looking at how India showcases itself. Could it become a world leader as well, a nation power, as the geopolitical issues that are surfacing with the Ukraine and Russia war that is on, recession and inflation in the West? Can India's stability make it the new India and a new image that the G20 can be the opportunity for India to showcase itself in the best manner possible? But Congress saying this is all event management. The celebration, the boasting that is being done is just managing an event, nothing more. This was just an inevitable presidency for 1 year that India has got. The question is, for that 1 year, shouldn't India put forth its best? That's my question now to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, joining me. So Geeta, it's correct that it is inevitable. It was a rotational basis. But for this 1 year, at a crucial global time like this, it's also perhaps India's opportunity, isn't it, to showcase its best. Why is the Congress attacking? What exactly has the Congress said? Over to you, Geeta.
Well, the Congress is saying that there is nothing to make it look like it is historic, and the fact that everybody would get a turn. None of these countries that in the past hosted the G20 staged such a high voltage drama is what Jairam Ramesh, Congress leader, is saying, and also talking about how this would have been inevitable. But the fact is, Pooja, that if you look at the presidency of the G20 and you list it out, the presidency is rotational on regional basis. Which region gets the presidency? Consensus has to be reached on which country is actually going to host. The reason why India never had a chance to host the G20 before this. And so while we are looking at a rotational basis, and that someday it would have been inevitable, the fact that it didn't happen before and it happened now clearly shows that, yes, there is some sort of a stand and position that India holds today. In fact, in the beginning of the G20, when G20 was formed and the summits had started taking place, United States of America held a summit a couple of times in the initial stages, and so did the UK. It was not rotational then. So certainly what we are looking at over here is country being chosen, and in this case, India certainly being chosen by consensus from all quarters. Having said that, each country to its own. There are countries that might not have played up the G20. For India, at a stage, at a point when there are wars happening, there is conflict in various parts, and climate change is a huge issue. To take on presidency and take on a leadership role.
Just for the viewer watching right now, what sort of celebration that India has planned or managed, already has done, that has led already to a political furor? Because it's just been 24 hours, just 1 day that India has officially taken over that presidency.
Well, the fact that India has been working on, and there has been rather quite a bit of projection, even during the G20 summit that is taking place in Bali, that what India will plan is going to be rather grand. There are about 200 meetings ahead of the summit next year in September. Ahead of the summit, there are about 200 meetings that will take place at the G20 level in over 50 cities across the country from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, which means Jammu and Kashmir will also be hosting delegations from the G20 countries. Apart from that, there are sideline events where B20, that is business leaders from these countries, are also going to meet. And then there are many think tanks, organizations, meetings of those kinds also, and engagement with students, such things, a lot of TED Talks being organized. So a lot is being planned, Pooja. Yes, India is playing it up, and fairly so, because at this juncture, at this stage, G20 is considered rightly representative of the new changed world order.
Correct.
We have the G7, which was earlier the G8,
yes,
but certainly not where India was in that grouping, and not the developing nations. India's argument is that G20 and likewise groups are the ones who are representing the new order, the developing nations.
So Geeta, isn't it also correct to say that this is not just about one party or another? Even if India is trying to project the best manner possible, at a time like this when India can showcase its relative stability compared to the West, or what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, why shouldn't India put forth its best image if it can, with evidence, put forth that it can become a world leader of sorts? Why not do that?
Well, Pooja, I don't know whether it's just about putting forth an image, so to say, because the fact is that I can't imagine a G20 summit being held in 2023 that would not have seen this kind of projection, even if Congress were in power or any other party in power in India. The projection at this juncture would have been, or could have been, at this level only, because even if it is rotational, as is for the first time, and rotational region-wise, where a lot of countries could have got it ahead of India as well. So while it is inevitable, if it was 2023 and a different party, a different government, they would have also used the platform to showcase the Global South and how Global South is a part of and should play a leadership role in the coming, in the future of the world, and how the world should shape itself up.